network sniffing. In this video, we're going to use 3 hacking tools to steal, to capture, to sniff any device's network traffic in your home network. You need to learn hacking. My hacking machine will be the new Raspberry Pi 400. It's actually a Raspberry Pi built inside a keyboard. It's pretty cool. And a massive shout out to the sponsor of this video, IT Pro TV. They are what I use to prep for these videos. So if you want to dive deeper into hacking or really anything else in IT, check them out, link below. Use the code NETWORKCHUCK and get 30% off forever. All right. Let's start hacking. And real quick, disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only. Never hack anyone for any reason unless you have explicit permission. And also, if you like this video, like it, and if you want to subscribe, consider subscribing. Anyways, keep going. I want you to start capturing or sniffing traffic right now, and it's really easy. Like, check this out. Here on my Raspberry Pi, I have a program called Wireshark. This is a free program you can download for Windows, Linux, Mac. I'll put a link below. Right when you launch it, this is what you see. You got options to select what interface you want to capture traffic on. Normally, you want to select the one that has the little squigglies telling you that there's actually traffic on that interface. So I'll simply just double click my WLAN 0 interface on my Raspberry Pi here, and boom, it's capturing traffic. Like right now, it's already happening. It's going to be a lot of stuff, especially when I go to a website. Let's go to networkchuck.com, and right now Wireshark is capturing all of my network traffic. Everything I'm doing. And when I hit stop right here, you don't want to keep that going. It can get quite big. Wow, I've got a lot of stuff here. It's kind of amazing. Now, don't worry. I know right now it might feel overwhelming. All this stuff right here. What does all this mean? We will go over a few things here in a moment. But I want to stop here for a second because you're probably thinking, what do I care about capturing my traffic? I know what I'm doing. As an ethical hacker, as a pen tester, you want to capture other people's traffic and see what they're doing. How do we do that? Well, that is not as easy. So I'm gonna go refill my coffee. I suggest you do the same, and then I'm gonna show you how we capture someone else's network traffic. Now again, it's not as easy as what I just showed you, but it is not too bad. It's pretty easy. It won't take long at all. Let's do this. Oh, first coffee, I'll be right back. Here's the situation. I'm at a beach house right now. It has a standard Wi-Fi router that you might have in your house right now. And on this network, I have iPhones, laptops, other phones, smart TVs, and last but certainly not least, my Raspberry Pi 400, my hacking machine. So how can I get my Raspberry Pi to see all the internet traffic for everyone here? Well, back in the day, it was pretty stinking easy. Because back in my day, well actually it was kind of before my day, this was a hub. This would be a hub in our network. And it would be a wired network, so ignore the physical cable going to my iPhone here. Now let me cross out router, it's just a hub right now. Now the hub is an idiot. All he does is repeat things. He's not very smart. So for example, if this iPhone wanted to send a photo to this Android phone over here, the hub wouldn't just send it to that one phone. It would actually repeat it, send it out to everyone connected to him. That's why they call hubs repeaters. And it does that with all network traffic it receives. Now, as an ethical hacker, we're like, yeah, that's amazing. Keep that feature enabled. Because if we're receiving all the traffic that goes to everyone in the network, then we're able to fire up Wireshark and capture all the traffic. But alas, we don't use hubs anymore, thank goodness, because they're really super insecure for that very reason. But it does make it more difficult for us to sniff or capture traffic. On a modern network, instead of a hub, this will actually be a switch. Switches aren't dumb. In that same scenario, when iPhone 1 sends a photo to the Android phone down here, that's all that happens. No one else gets that. Which is great for security, bad for us when we're trying to hack people. Come on, give us a break here. So now it is harder for us to capture traffic, but we can totally still do it. I'm about to show you that right now. But one more thing before I show you. I said this was a switch, and it is, but it might be confusing because it's labeled a router. Well, it's also a router. It's also a wireless access point. These devices are all in one. They do everything, which is why you're not going to see most of our devices here cabled up. No, we're not going to see that. We're going to see them connecting wirelessly. Those are the worst wireless signals I've ever drawn. Now I say all this because there's a lot more that goes into understanding a network. What's a router? What's a switch? What's a wireless access point? What do they do? As you're learning hacking, you do need to understand the roles those devices play in a network and how a network works. So I highly encourage you to go watch this video and this video on what a router and a switch does. Before you can hack a network, you have to understand how a network works. So you can pause and go watch those or just keep watching. You can still do this hack without knowing that stuff, but it does help to understand what's going on under the hood as you're performing it. Let's keep going. All right, let's hack the beach house. How do I sniff someone else's traffic on my network? In this scenario, I want to hack or sniff my wife's iPhone. I know, I'm always picking on her. As it stands right now, if I launch Wireshark on my Raspberry Pi and we're all on the same network, I won't see a thing. She's talking to the router's talking to the internet, vice versa, and that conversation's all between them. We have a delicious attack we can use. It's called ARP poisoning. Now, to truly understand how awesome this attack is, you do need to know a bit about networking. Again, go watch those 2 videos and you'll have a greater appreciation for what is about to happen. I love the ARP poisoning attack because it takes advantage of something our networks rely on. They need it. ARP, the Address Resolution Protocol. The router, my wife's iPhone, the Raspberry Pi, all your devices on your network will use ARP to discover where things are on the network. So let's say, for example, my wife is trying to upload a photo to Instagram, which she does all the time. Her phone will get the photo ready, attempt to send it to the internet, and the first hop it has, the first stop, is the router. Her phone knows the router lives at 10.0.0.1. That's how it's configured. It's basically the router's name, but she doesn't know where the router actually lives. She needs this right here, the MAC address. Think of that as like the router's mailing address, his house. So her phone will use ARP to discover the MAC address of the router, and then once her phone learns that, boom, it'll go right to the router. Perfect. And this process happens for every device on your network. When the router wants to send something to my wife's phone, he also has to learn her mailing address, her MAC address, and he uses ARP. Same thing goes for if he wants to send something to my Raspberry Pi. Gotta learn his mailing address. It's this amazing protocol that we're gonna really screw with right now. We're gonna mess it up. We're gonna poison it. Using a tool called EtherCap on my Raspberry Pi, I'm gonna send malicious ARP packets to the router and to my wife's phone. In those packets, I'm gonna say, hey router, 10.0.0.3, my wife's iPhone does not live over there. No. The real address is actually B2A4. So whatever you have for her, send it to me. I'll do the same thing for my wife's phone. I'll say, hey, wife's phone, the router at 10.0.0.1 does not live over here at ED49. No, he moved. He's over here at B2A4. Do you see what's happening here? It's so neat. I am basically putting myself right in the middle, right in between the router and my wife's phone. And it's genius, right? Like, my wife's phone thinks I'm the router, so she'll send me all her traffic. I get to see it all. The router thinks that I am in my wife's phone, so he's gonna send me all the traffic meant for her. Now, I'll forward it right along. Here you go, router. Here you go, wife's iPhone. The point is, I'm in the middle, and I'm able to see everything. This is a common attack. It's called a man-in-the-middle attack. This is one way to perform this attack, and we're gonna turn on Wireshark once we are in the middle. What do you think is gonna happen? Well, when we start sniffing those packets, we're gonna see everything that my wife's phone is doing. Everything. And I'm telling you, it's stupid easy. You ready to try it? Let's do it. All right, back home on my Raspberry Pi 400, time to start hacking. Now, you can follow along with Kali, Ubuntu, or really any flavor of Linux, and of course a Raspberry Pi, and we'll be using these tools. One we already talked about, Wireshark. You can install Wireshark with the command apt install Wireshark. Our second tool is one of my favorites, Nmap. Use apt install Nmap to get that sucker going. And finally, we already mentioned this guy, EtherCap. apt install EtherCap-text-only. They do have a graphical version, but we're going to be command line only this time. Once you have those tools installed, we are ready to rock, or hack. Our first step is some recon. We have to find devices on our network that we can sniff. Let's get them. So launch your terminal and start with the command sudo nmap space. We'll do a -sn. And by the way, if you want to learn more about Nmap and how you can hack with Nmap, I got a video right here. And then you'll put in the subnet for your home network. Right now, mine for my beach house is 10.0.0.0/24. In most cases, your network might look like this, 192.168.1.0/24. But whatever the case, you got to look it up to find out what it is. But once you know it, we're ready to rock. So once I hit enter, it'll start scanning the network and try to find devices. Ready, set, go. Now, there won't be anything that screams, hey, I'm your wife's phone, but I do know her phone to have the IP address of 10.0.0.129. There's her MAC address. But essentially, you would use this tool to discover hosts that were actually alive on your network, up, running, things you could possibly hack and test. And the only information I need right now is her IP address, 10.0.0.129. So armed with that info, I can now continue my attack. The command will be sudo ethercap. Here we go. I'll use uppercase T for text only, no graphical here. -S to not use SSL. We won't cover that right now. -I to specify my interface. Now, most of you, if you're using a Raspberry Pi, this will be WLAN 0. And then -M because we're using a man-in-the-middle attack. Next, we'll specify our method. It'll be ARP. So I'll type in ARP, then : remote. And then we put in our victims. The first one will be our router. This will be the default gateway for any device on your network. So I'll put in a / the IP address of my router, which mine is 10.0.0.1, and then another / and another / space, and then the IP address of the person you're wanting to sniff, capture, attack. It'll be my wife's phone. So / 10.0, messed it up. 10.0.0.129 / Just like that, that's our command. I want to hit enter and start attacking her right now. Go. And bam. So right now, it's already seeing traffic. All you're seeing right now is traffic that her phone is using. Now all that's left to do is to capture it, sniff it. Let's do it. I'm going to launch Wireshark. Going to launch another terminal here. You will need to launch Wireshark with sudo permissions. So sudo Wireshark right from the command line. It'll launch in the GUI. I'll select my WLAN interface to start capturing. And here we go. Now Wireshark's a big thing. It's kind of intimidating. I get that. I'll show you a few things real quick. We don't want to sit here and scroll and scroll and scroll and try to pick through all this stuff, so we can apply filters. Right here in the little address bar here, I'll specify, let's only see traffic for my wife's phone. Because right now it's showing me all traffic that my NIC, my network interface card, can see. Mine and hers. Let's specify hers. So I'll see ip.addr space equals, and then her IP address, 10.0.0.129. And now we're only seeing traffic for her phone. Okay, so we captured a bit of traffic. I'm gonna go ahead and stop my capture right now. Hit that stop button. And if you look here at the bottom, we captured 18,000 packets, 17,000 of those belonging to my wife's phone. That's a lot of stuff. Oh, and also what you might want to do is go back to your header cap where you're attacking. Just hit Control-C and the attack will stop. Anyways, let's keep going. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is what you can't see. Real quick, let's go to like maybe right here. We see that my wife's IP address is the source, and we have this destination, this random website on the internet. If we right-click that, we can click on follow and then TCP stream. What it's going to do is kind of follow the conversation, because as you know, in networking is a lot of, hey, how's it going? How's it going? And then responding back. Just conversation. And looking inside of this, it's kind of, well, not kind of, you can't understand a dang thing. That's encrypted. That's what encryption looks like when you try to capture the packets. It's just blah, blah. The red is from my wife's phone and the blue is from the server, or whoever she's trying to talk to. And you can't see nothing. And that's what's going to happen when you capture traffic on the internet or in your network right now if it has encryption, which thankfully most of it does. TLS, SSL. So then you might be thinking, well, Chuck, well, what good is this? We can't find anything. We don't see anything. Why did you show me this video? Well, there are still things we can learn from this traffic, even if we can't open it and peer inside. I'll get to that here in a moment. But not all traffic is encrypted. Now, I did have my wife, her phone, visit some, let me apply back my things here. I had her visit some HTTP websites. That means they don't have HTTPS enabled. They're not SSL. And that's kind of dangerous. Let me show you why. We captured that traffic. And how I can search for that here in Wireshark is I can do a space, do ampersand, and specify HTTP traffic, and hit enter. So it involves her IP address and HTTP traffic. And let's open up one of these guys. I'll right click one of the packets here, go to follow and click on HTTP stream. With HTTP, we pretty much see it all. It's clear text, baby, so we can see what website it was she visited, surfsidetexas.org. It's a city here in South Texas. And yeah, they don't have SSL, so if you know that town or know who manages their stuff, tell them to fix it. But I can see everything. I can see what she's requesting from the website. I can see what their website's sending back to her. And look right here. Here's a video file that was being requested. So there are websites out there that aren't secure. There are protocols out there that aren't secure. We've got Telnet, FTP. I'll show you those here in a moment. But these are weaknesses that you as an ethical hacker, you as a pen tester, would need to know how to find. So as you're helping a company secure themselves, so you can be like, hey guys, you're using HTTP. Everyone can see what you're doing. You're using FTP, you're using Telnet. Shame on you, never use Telnet. Now again, Wireshark is a really cool thing, but it's complicated. It can feel overwhelming. If you do want to learn more about it, which you should, if you want to get into hacking or just IT, if you want to get into IT, which I assume you do want to, then you should learn more about Wireshark, and we have a great course over at This Is IT. David Bombal has a fantastic Wireshark course. Go check it out. But just for now, if you want to have a great way to visualize your capture, you captured all this internet traffic, you want to be able to look at it without having to look up filters and look up all these random things you have to learn, well, you can have fun with it right away. So from here, I'm going to click on File and click on Save As. I'm going to save this capture, which are often called PCAPs. I'm going to change it from a PCAP-NG to a PCAP file. And I'll just name it, yep. and click on save. Now, just so you know, capturing packets, sniffing networks is not just for hackers. It's a legit practice that network engineers, IT engineers, pretty much everyone in IT will end up using to troubleshoot their networks, to see what's going on, troubleshooting programs. So this is a skill that, man, you really should learn. Anyways, let's go visualize our PCAP, our capture. I'm going to go to a website called apackets.com. It's a free tool to analyze your PCAPs, your captures. Keep in mind, if you use the free version, you're uploading your captures to a public repository that anyone can view, so just be careful with that. But from here, I'll click on Upload PCAP File. I'll select my file I just saved, yep, PCAP, and it's going to upload. Coffee break. It's uploaded, they've analyzed it, now time to view the report. I'll click on View Report, and here we go. This is pretty cool. Here you get a better picture of how things look. Like, hey, DNS request. This reveals a ton of stuff about what my wife's phone is up to, what it's trying to contact, what applications it's using. It's crazy. We can look at a full list of connections, all the servers and IP addresses that my wife's phone reached out to. Pictures. We can look at the pictures that the Wireshark captured, which it's not showing. That's dumb. But otherwise, you'd be able to see it. HTTP. We can see the same stuff we saw before in Wireshark when we filtered by HTTP. Bam, look at that. The website in plain text. We can view the different hosts that we captured with this capture. We can even view the network. A crazy looking diagram. Look at that thing. Which, man, when you sit back and think about all the places that my wife's phone visited just during that short amount of time while that capture was happening, that's amazing. The world's amazing. The internet is amazing. Sorry. And if you scroll down here, we can see the ARP packets. And look at this. We can actually see our ARP attack right here. That's cool. Look at Ethernet data, which is our layer 2 data. But anyways, this is a great way to visualize your captures, especially if you're brand new to Wireshark and it's kind of intimidating. You can get a nice pretty graph and get a better understanding of what's happening. Now real quick, I want to show you how dumb a telnet is, or any of these other protocols that are not secure, not encrypted. Watch this. I want to have my wife's phone. I'm going to have her do this. Telnet into a server and you'll be able to see everything. Watch. Let's get our attack going again. Get back to my terminal here. Launch my same attack as before. Gotcha. Let's open up Wireshark once more. Start our capture on WLAN 0. I'll make sure we're getting stuff from my wife's phone. We'll specify her IP address in the filter. Yep, things are looking good. Now time to telnet into a server. All right, so I logged into the server with telnet from my wife's phone. Did a few things. Now let's stop the capture here. Stop our attack. And let's go look and see what happened. So we can filter by telnet by doing and or ampersand telnet. Right after, oh, and there it is. Look at this. I'm gonna scroll down a bit to see if there's something more interesting. And yep, right here. So at the top here is the username and the password. Down here are all the commands I was entering. I pinged Google down here. Everything was captured. Username, password, every command. Telnet is stupid. But these kind of things do happen still to this day, which is why they need us to hack them, to let them know you're being an idiot. Fix it. In this video, I used my Raspberry Pi 400 to hack the beach house. I used it to sniff networks, sniff my network devices and see what they're up to capture their traffic. Now, it's not as easy as it used to be. We're not dealing with hubs anymore. So we have to become a bit more creative. We have to take advantage of ARP, using the ARP poisoning attack, putting ourselves in the middle of a conversation, a man-in-the-middle attack, so we can hear both sides of the conversation, receive all the traffic that one device is sending or receiving. This is relatively easy to perform. You can perform it on your home network probably right now. In fact, let me know how it goes below, but please only hack for good and only hack with permission. Well guys, that's about it. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you like what I'm doing here on this channel, consider subscribing. Join the team. And if you want to help me do more of this, to produce hacking videos, training videos, consider joining the Network Chuck YouTube membership. Link below. Yep, that's all I got. I'll catch you guys next time.